During this past week in Yemen, the Saudi-led coalition committed new atrocities by striking a hotel and killing over 35 civilians who were in the hotel in Sana'a. Those residents, those guests at that hotel were basically seasonal workers who used to work in an adjacent farm, and they would come to that hotel. Actually, it's not even a hotel, it's an inn. And they sleep the night at that inn when the Saudi coalition attacked that inn and killed over 35 civilians. Also, in the same week, other civilians were targeted, among them kids, children. At least 10 children were killed this past week in Yemen by the Saudi bombing campaign. As you know, my dear brothers and sisters, Yemen now is going through the largest humanitarian crisis in the world. Over 8,000 people have been killed by air bombing. Over 2,000 people have died due to the outbreak of cholera. And more people are dying due to the outbreak of cholera. 20 million people are in desperate need of help, medical help, and food because they were affected by this war that was waged by Saudi Arabia and its allies. Yet all of this happening, my dear brothers and sisters, while the world is not taking any step to put an end or at least alleviate the pain of the Yemeni people. No one. As if those people are not even humans. No one cares about them. They are being targeted day and night in the month of Ramadan, in the month of Dhul Hijjah. My dear brothers and sisters, the polytheists, mushrikeen before Islam, there were 4 months in the year that they would respect, and they cease fighting during those months. It was the month of Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, this one that we're in now, Muharram, and Rajab. They used to call them Al-Ashhur al-Hurum. Islam came and says, yes, those are Al-Ashhur al-Hurum, the sanctified months. Even Kuffar and polytheists would not wage a war during those 4 months. But the Saudi government is still bombing Yemenis during those months and the rest of the months of the year. For last 2 years, the Saudi government and its allies have been bombing and attacking those people day and night with no break at all. And the world is watching. The world is watching and doing nothing. My dear brothers and sisters, our holy prophet Muhammad sallu alayhi bi'ala aswatikum, has said in one hadith, and I'm going to recite this hadith for you so you understand what a big responsibility we Muslims have toward our brothers and sisters in Yemen. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam says, "Man sami'a munadiyan yunadi ya lil muslimina falam yujib falaysa bi Muslim." If you hear a Muslim calling for help and you intentionally choose not to do anything about it, you're not a Muslim. 20 million Yemenis are calling for help. They are saying, Ya lil Muslimin, come and save us, help us. and 1 billion Muslims choose to be quiet and not do anything about it. Do we call those people Muslims? How do we dare to call ourselves Muslims when we hear Muslims in Yemen, in Palestine, in other places, in Bahrain, in other places, being bombed, killed, and we choose not to do anything? We go on in our life as nothing happened. All we say, Allah ya'inhum. We have to do something, my dear brothers and sisters. In this country, you all have access to your congressmen, senators. We need to write letters to them. We need to write letters to the White House. Well, I know most likely whatever you will write to the White House, it will end up in the trash bin. But at least we have done our job. At least we have said what we needed to say. So my dear brothers and sisters, those people being killed in Yemen, Allah will ask us about them in the day of judgment. He will hold me accountable in the day of judgment. And He will ask me, what did you do? You saw with your own eyes 20 million Yemenis dying. You didn't do anything. Why you didn't do anything? من رأى منكم منكرا فليغيره بيده وإن لم يتمكن فبلسانه وإن لم يتمكن فبقلبه وذلك أضعف الإيمان. Anytime you see there is oppression, attempt to change it and stop it with your hand, if not with your tongue, and if you can't, at least condemn it in your heart. My dear brothers and sisters,